Today, we want to dive right on into learn the 5 secrets for medical billing success. Now, how do we come up with this? Well, these 5 secrets are basically built in to what we want to deliver to you. So we have a set of deliverables that we want to get to you that will make you become successful. As I was building this slide deck here, I remember when we used to have training on a local basis, and we used to have it here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And every 5 to 6 weeks, we used to have all of the brand new business owners for American Business Systems fly in here. It was a lot of fun. The dynamics were awesome. But there was 1 or 2 times where Patrick would come in and he had a briefcase like this, and he called it kind of like his secret briefcase. And he had different things and different applications and things for that particular class. So whenever I was choosing this slide deck and I was kind of building it out, this kind of reminded me about that, and reminded me about the days where Patrick would walk in with this suitcase or this briefcase here, this kind of metal briefcase here, because he would always pull out something. There were times that during those times he'd pull out and give out books, and he would give out certain different things. And a couple of times he gave out some iPads to some folks there. It was pretty cool. But all of those were just different tools. But what was meant for that is we're here to be the very beginning. So I thought this was very apropos to talking about learning the 5 secrets for medical billing success. Now, I am going to be monitoring the Q&A box as best I can. Sometimes, let me remind you about the Q&A area. I do want you to feel free to ask questions, because folks, this is your webinar. This is just you and I. Just think of it that we're having a cup of coffee at a local coffee shop somewhere, and you're just asking me questions. You're going, Eric, what is this business all about? This is why I'm here today. So just know that I'm here to help you, give you as much information as I possibly can within the hour that we have together. But one of the things I want to point to your attention is that I want you to make sure that you go back to our website, absystems.com, and you're going to find out in the right-hand corner, as you can see right there, there's an area that says download our 5 secrets to success. Now, this is a PDF. You'll probably have to put in your contact information in there once again. But what that's going to do is going to give you a link to the 5 secrets I'm going to be going over this afternoon. So what you can be able to do is, after the webinar, go back out there and go get it, download it, save it on your computer that you can have it. You can print it out. I forgot how many pages it actually is. But you're going to want to take some notes on it. And then this webinar is being recorded, so that what you're going to want to be able to do is later on be able to go back and watch this over with that PDF that I suggested you go get there from our website, because it's really going to show you, as you can see here, you can fill out your first name, last name, your email address. If you're here at the webinar, you know we already have that. So just put it in there again. It's going to be routed back to your business coach anyway. So just put that in. That way you can get these 5 secrets here. And this is a little snippet of what it's going to look like. If you want to, you could take it down to Office Depot or wherever you want to go to, Staples maybe, and get it printed out in color if you'd like, or if you got a color printer, you can print it out. But you can see here, it's going to first of all start talking about educate to build trust. So that's one of the first things that we're going to be really talking about today. Folks, I think we all know that everyone will do business with people that they know, they like, and they trust. Obviously, that's one of the things that we want to do with you. We want to build a trust factor with you. Now, there's a couple of ways that trust can be built. Number one, time is one of them. Well, ABS has been around for 30 years. So there's a part of automatic trust that can be built by a company that's been around for over 30 years here. That's one way. But folks, you guys are brand new. So how can we catapult you from just getting started to being a part of American Business Systems, or through MIRMA, that it truly has been around for over 30 years? So for our ABS owners, we want to set you up for success, that you know more about medical billing and revenue cycle management than most doctors do. Because remember, folks, doctors, when they go to school, They don't go to school to learn how to do their billing. And a lot of times, just on a quick side note, most doctors, whenever they go through school, they have only one semester of nutrition. So you could get, kind of let that sink in a little bit. But they have zero education on running a business. So think about that. Most doctors, nurse practitioners, physicians assistants that are around, they just don't have, they've never had the opportunity to be able to take some time and have business. Now, I'm not saying that all doctors are like that. There are some very, very smart doctors out there. And I'm going to share one doctor with you who is very smart and who has learned a lot in business. But again, folks, we just know that we will do business with folks that are referred to us. I mean, think about it. If you need your roof replaced, you're usually asking your neighbors around, hey, if you're getting your roof replaced, who have you used, or who have you used for a plumber or some HVAC group? Who have you used? And what does that do? Well, if my neighbor tells me, hey, I want you to use this one HVAC company because I just use them, I'm always looking for good, solid referrals. So obviously, as a client, I'm going, hey, okay, if you trust them, then I'll trust them. But it's because I know somebody and I like them. So you can see really how all this really does work. So let's kind of dive into this. So when we talk about educate to build trust, to me, this is what all these webinars that we do for you is really to help educate you. Because what you're going to learn here is what you learn here on this side of the business opportunity. And once you come into American business systems, you're going to find out that there's an opportunity that you're going to remember everything that you and I have talked about on these webinars. You're going to go, oh gosh, I remember what Eric said about that. It's almost like I had some training before we even got started here with the training. So I want to make an offer to everybody this afternoon that's on the webinar, again, because we had a little bit of trouble kind of getting some things started here this afternoon. What I want you to do, so just take a moment, write this down. I want you to go back to your business coach that you're working with here at American Business Systems and ask them to send you a PDF of this book, The New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, if you'd like a hard copy, the best way to get a hard copy is just go out to Amazon. You can go find it out there. It's $25, I think is what it is. To me, it's a good investment. As you can see behind me, I've got an entire library of books. I love books. Doesn't mean I read all of them, but I have referred to just about all of them at one spot in my life. I've got all of my over here on my right-hand side over here, I've got some good study books that I've used, and especially in business. There's some great business books out there. But the one that I think that you need the most right now is this one, The New Thriving Medical Practice. That's why I want everybody to get a free copy of this that is on the webinar today. So again, just reach out to your business coach and say, hey, Eric mentioned on the webinar today to ask for the PDF of The New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, why do I want you to get that? Because I want you to read it. And the reason I want you to read it, because I want to educate you on why doctors would even need you to do their medical billing. Because I'm sure there are people on the webinar today asking the question, why would a doctor need me in the first place if they've already got a medical biller in their office? Well, as you maybe have heard me talk about before, that doesn't mean that the doctors are gaining all of their money. Listen, there are stories after stories after story that are within this book that talks about doctors who have had their own billers. Matter of fact, Dr. Vicki Rackner, who had her own office biller at one time, found out that she was embezzling money. So folks, just because a doctor has a medical biller in their office doesn't mean that they're collecting everything that they need to be collecting. So please reach out to your business coach, get the book. Now, what's going to happen here is that whenever you now become a business owner here at American Business Systems, now you get to add your name to the front of the book. And yes, It's not going to be a PDF. It's actually going to be a real book. Because what we're going to do, once you get started and you've gone through that section of training, we're going to show you how you can put your name on the front of the book, because we want you to be the one who has written the foreword to the book. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you how powerful this is. During the months or the year of COVID, when everything seemed to be shut down, there was no way for a lot of our business owners to get out there and go get and gain new business. But that didn't stop them. What they did, they took the opportunity and started writing some letters and got these books and mailed these books to some of the doctor prospects that they were working on. Well, guess what? During that time, the doctors actually had some time to read. But what happened is that they would call our ABS business owner and say, hey, I just read the book that you wrote. Now, they didn't write the whole book, but they wrote the foreword to the book. Now, this is building trust with you. So as you're coming out of becoming a brand new business owner here with ABS, this is one of those areas. This is the secret, one of the main secrets that we're going to help catapult you from being brand new into medical billing, now going into start marketing to doctors by utilizing this book with your name on the cover. Now, I mentioned to you, obviously during COVID, the doctors didn't have they had a little bit more time on their hands, so they got some time to read. But we found a trade secret. As you can see here, you can see these little yellow tabs. Obviously, these are the little post-it yellow tabs that you can see at any office supply store. But we're going to show you during your training how to go in there and go to specific pages. We're going to have you get a highlighter out, and we're going to have you highlight certain areas of the book. Then we're going to tell you, take a little tab and put it right on that tab, that page. Well, what do you think that's going to happen when you get that book in the doctor's hands? Well, first of all, they're going to go, what are these tabs? So they're going to turn to it. Then there's going to be a highlighted section of the book. Well, obviously, it's going to force them to read that part of it. So it's going to get them interested in this book very, very quickly. And when you have, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 of these tabs already marked for the doctor, they're going to go back and go, gosh, I need to get this. I need to read the entire book. And so, again, what does that do? It's building trust with you. And what that's doing, you've been educating this doctor many times without even talking to the doctor in the first place, because we're going to show you how to mail these directly to the doctors in a specific specialized envelope, something like a FedEx or the special boxes that are there at the post office. That's going to be directed directly to the doctor. Because I promise you, if you just try to go to the doctor's offices and you take one of the flyers, which you'll see this afternoon, and just go drop off information, they get vendors in doctor's offices all the time. And usually some of that might end up on the doctor's desk. But again, that office manager has kind of been trained to kind of go filter out what they need. But when you mail something to a doctor and it's in a book format and it's in a special package, guess where that's going? The office manager doesn't open the doctor's mail. The doctor opens his or her mail. And so this is a way to what you would think of kind of circumvent the office manager without even going to a doctor's office in the first place. So one of the things that you should be doing right now is starting to think, okay, within my community, who are the top 5 or 10 doctors that I would want as a client? And then start making that list, because once you become a business owner here at American Business Systems, those are the first group of people that you're going to want to start sending these books out to and getting it directly into the hands of the doctor. Folks, what I just told you right now on this webinar are basically some of the trade secrets of what we're teaching our current base of new business owners already. And they're already getting doctors. So I know a lot of you have come today to the webinar thinking, gosh, I don't know how. I've never marketed before. I'm not a great salesperson. We're not teaching you how to sell. What we're teaching you here is to duplicate what we've done. If we can educate you, that's going to start building trust. Now, remember a while ago, earlier, I shared with you that in one of our packages that part of the package that we have is a service called Auto Card. You see it right there in the bottom left-hand corner. That's called Auto Card. Now, I'm going to go back over here to the slide where we just were. So let me tell you one of the other secrets about getting in touch with the doctor. So let's just say that week one, you've sent that book to a doctor, you give it a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden you start to drip market to the doctor with these postcards. Now, these are real postcards. These are not email cards that go through the doctor's email. Because remember, you probably don't even have the doctor's email at this point. So we want to get physical things into the doctor's hands. So now we're going to start drip marketing this doctor with this information. And we've got an entire program built inside of AutoCard that has a drip campaign. Our drip marketing campaign with iClaim, EMRX, CodeWrite, Compliancy Guard, Audit Guard, all these different services that you will be able to service that doctor with, including virtual care. We have that one as well. So we have all these different campaigns that you can start drip marketing to the doctor. Well, what's that doing? It's keeping you in front and the top of mind with these doctors. And that's what you want to do, because that's when you build trust. And then maybe 3 or 4 weeks down the road, then you might want to go swing by that doctor's office and step in and actually engage with that doctor's office manager, or maybe even getting the chance to see the doctor themselves. Or more importantly, we're going to show you how to set up some lunch and learns where you can get, I promise you, every doctor's office has a list of times whenever vendors are bringing in lunch. We're going to show you how to get on that list. So you maybe bring in a lunch one day, and then whenever they know that it's you who have sent the doctor all these different postcards and everything else, you won't be like somebody that they don't know. It's almost like they already know you. So these are some of the trade secrets. So this is how we're going to support you to get to that level. First of all, we do an online onboarding and training with live one-on-one expert instructors. That's right. We're going to get you, we're going to build that trust level with you and get you up to where you need to be. Now, as y'all remember, as I mentioned here in the beginning of the webinar, that we used to have we used to have this training where we brought everybody in. And again, the dynamics of live training with other people in the room is tremendous. There's no doubt that's a really cool thing to have. However, you can only learn so much with that. So what we've been able to do, we've taken each module of what we used to teach and spread it out over a little bit, and we've done that online. Well, what does that do? It helps save you travel expenses and hotel costs and food costs. But what it does, it gives you a online, real-time expert to help you and get your questions answered and create a success plan specifically for you based upon that. Remember, I mentioned to you a minute ago, that kind of that list, your target list of doctors that you want to work on. That's what we're going to do. All right, folks, I see a couple of questions coming in here, so just bear with me. I'm going to try to get to a little break here, and I'll try to help answer some of those questions. Then we're going to start supporting you weekly or sometimes bi-weekly on other business educational webinars. Plus, we've got catalogs of hundreds of hours of other recorded webinars. So just like what we're doing for you regularly on these Wednesdays, we have these Friday afternoon webinars only for our business owners. So that happens sometimes every week, sometimes it happens every other week. It just depends on what we're trying to do, but we're staying in touch with you once you become a business owner here at American Business System. So we help you with that. Now, everybody, whatever you're watching, whatever you're doing, I'm going to ask you to kind of just focus back in with me, because I know that we've been going on for about 40 minutes now, and a little bit of that was a little bit of technical difficulty we had in the beginning. But folks, if you get anything out of this webinar, I want you to really zero in with me on this one. Because remember, I mentioned to you that people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. Now, with doctors, it's a little different because doctors will many times only like to hear from other doctors. So what we've been able to do, we've been able to partner with a lady by the name of Dr. Vicki Rackner. Dr. Rackner was a general surgeon for over 30 years. But once she finally retired from all of that, what she was able to do was try to see what she could do to help other doctors fix their financial problems. She wrote the book, The Myth of the Rich Doctor. This is a book that, again, you can go out there and find it on Amazon. If I were you, I would recommend going out and getting the hard copy of it. Now, the reason I tell you that is because I'm not here to develop anything. We get no money off of Amazon. We get no money off of Dr. Rackner's book or anything else. But what you get out of it for a couple of bucks is that you get a hard copy of something, of an education process. You're going to want to have this in your library anyway. So again, as you're thinking about your investment here, which is just under $30,000, if you're like any good entrepreneur, you're going to get books that you know that you can put in your library because you're going to want to reference it. So again, I would recommend that you go get the book. Again, that's up to you. You can do whatever you want to. But what you're going to learn out of that is that there is a myth of doctors being rich. That's what you're going to find out. But plus, she also, remember, she's the co-author of the book that Adam wrote the book with, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. But what's in between those two books is probably the most important thing for you. Once you've developed your list of doctors that you would like to target, she is going to write a letter on your behalf to that doctor that you can get a copy of that book to. So how about accompanying your book with a letter from another doctor suggesting that you as the doctor might want to listen to the person that's giving you the book, not the Myth of the Rich Doctor, but the New Thriving Medical Practice. This is, doctors listen to other doctors, and that's the powerful thing that you're not going to get with any other business opportunity in medical billing. To have a doctor write on your behalf a letter introducing you to the doctor, a colleague. That's what's important for us. And obviously, Dr. Vicki has her own website that she's going to put on there because she wants to give some credibility about what she's doing. So, folks, this is a complete support system to help you get the credibility that you need. Then plus, how we support you in your success on this first part of getting you up to where you need to be is that you're going to have a lifetime access to our private support portal, which is called the ABS LSS, or the licensee support site. Now, if you were with me just a couple of weeks ago, I think it was actually some of last week and the week before, I did take you on somewhat of a tour of our licensee support site. If you haven't gotten a chance to do that, get back with your business coach here and ask them when you're going to do the demo of the iClean EMRX platform. Ask them to give you a tour of the licensee support site as well. It'll take you 10, 15, 20 minutes to do that as part of your due diligence. So I highly recommend that you do that. And then finally, we're going to provide continuous education from ABS as well as the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. Now, MRMA is that tagline that, again, you'll get to put on your business card or all of your marketing material that you're part of this particular organization. And it's through MRMA that there's going to be more educational parts of that you're going to get here at American Business Systems. All right, before I move on to the second secret, we can already see that we've been in this almost 42 minutes. So I'm going to have to kind of rush through that. But a couple of questions have come up. Shannon says, how many certifications are included with the franchise or the business opportunity, and how much for additional certifications? Shannon, there is one certification that gets certified, and that's you as the business opportunity, but it covers all of your people. But you can get as many people as you want to go through the training as you need to. So there's no reason that you have to have all of your people certified. You just need yourself. You're the business owner. You become certified, And then if you want more than just yourself to go through training, we'll support that for you as well. Anna's asking, is there any territory exclusive with regarding reaching out to doctors? And there's not. And Anna, that's because, first of all, you may be, let's just say here in Dallas, or Dallas Fort Worth. Let's say that you get a doctor down in Waco or Houston or something like that. That's okay, because there are no territories. Your territory is as large as the United States is. And the reason I say that, my first client actually came out of Georgia, and I live in Texas. So you can see there, it doesn't have to be in your zip code. So it's not a franchise where we have to section off certain areas for you. This is wherever you are. Because remember, there was a webinar I did a couple of months ago with a guy by the name of Bob Wilkie. And then Bob used to live in Washington State. A lot of his clients are still up there, but he ended up moving to Arizona. So you can see it doesn't matter where you are. We can certainly help support you with that. Now, number 2, we want to teach you and have you become the expert. Now that you've completed your training and you started to build your education base, we're here to position you as an endorsed expert with the marketing materials and a team of specialists, again, behind you. So how are we going to be able to do that? Again, I've already shown you through the book here. It doesn't mean that we're trying to just repeat and put something out there. But again, you're the one that's included with that part of the book. You've written the foreword to the book. But also, again, the combination of the book and this introductory letter, again, shows you how you become an expert, but that it doesn't stop there. We have arranged an entire team of specialists that can be available for you to help you with any of your clients' questions. Now, these are other ABS business owners. Many of them have been with us nearly 15 to 20 years. These are people that are still with us today. They were sitting on the side of where you're sitting today, where I'm on the side of this side of the webinar. And many of these people had no background in medical billing. Matter of fact, the gentleman to the right-hand corner, a couple of weeks ago, I did an interview with him. His name is Tim Warren. He is now the director or the VP of support and training here at American Business Systems. He actually came in from here not knowing anything about medical billing, but he came in here selling guitars, Fender guitars. So how do you go from Fenders to guitars to selling to doctors and now becoming one of your success stories and then possibly one of your success coaches? That's what we do here. Plus, we have all the marketing material. Now, all of these, it's kind of hard to see because it may be a little bit small on your screen, but these are 8.5 by 11 full color and heavy paper, what you call flyers or marketing pieces or marketing support pieces for you. And each of these, we're going to actually print your contact information with your logo. Everything is going to look the same for you. Now, these are some of the flyers that you might be able to use, again, when you're out and about. Maybe you're at a networking meeting that you might want to carry some of this to. Maybe you're out and about, you're going through and visiting with some doctors here. You might want to drop off a couple of these things. But this material is here to help support you in your success. There may be some times where you might want to do some lunch and learns or make some different presentations, maybe some educational events. I remember helping Tim Warren out one time because he was actually asked to give a speech at a HBMA conference, and that's the Healthcare Business Management Association. So folks, we're going to help you get to those levels. We've got presentations, we've got PowerPoint presentations you can use. We've got so much material to help you get to where you are, because we're going to enable you to become, again, part of the nation's largest network of certified medical billers, again, through MIRMA. The third thing that we're going to help you do is stand out from the crowd. So now that you've taken in all of this knowledge, you've built your reputation as the expert, now it's time to start separating yourself from all other competitions. And this is where ABS can help you with that as well. And that starts with the iClaim EMRX medical platform, because partnered with NextGen, this is the best in class, most award-winning platform, cloud-based software that is basically out there in the market. And I'll tell you why. One of the things you're going to want to do is get a demo of the system. And whenever you get to that, you're going to learn a little bit about how medical billing works, because before a claim actually gets to, let's say, Medicare or Blue Cross Blue Shield or Cigna or Aetna or whoever that might be, it has to leave that system and then go through what's called a claims processing clearinghouse. That company or that organization out there receives hundreds, if not thousands, of claims per hour to get obviously out to finally to their final destination. So iClaim actually has a clearinghouse built inside of it. That is what makes it the best in class. And again, one of the most award-winning platforms out there. And that's why ABS has partnered with NextGen to do that. Plus, we have all of these different services, as I've already mentioned earlier to you. This is not a piecemeal thing where if you want one, you have to pay more for it. Or even if we add more to it later, that part of it is also not going to go away. Now, but this is going to help you achieve to get where you need to get to a lot quicker. Then we provide all of this material to you customized. So as you can see here on the left-hand side, again, are all your marketing pieces. Everything that's on the right-hand side that I'm showing you are all the your websites templates that you can choose from. You can choose whichever template that you want. Then we're going to post on your website your logo, all of your contact information, all of that's going to go on there. Okay. Shannon, I see your question there, and I'm going to try to get to it real quickly here. Now, I'm going to start wrapping this up because I got about 10 minutes left, and because we still have no power, guess what? As things would go, obviously my battery's starting to go down very low as well. So you can only imagine about that. But what's the quickest way to gain the trust and authority with an audience? And that's to get a referral. Remember earlier, I mentioned to you earlier, gosh, if I'm looking to get a new roof on my house, or oh, here comes the power here real quickly. So we got power up, and I might even, if y'all will give me just a second, I'm gonna plug my laptop in here. Give me just a second so I don't run out of battery. Here, hang on one second. Thank you. Got it. All right. So now at least I'm not fretting about running out of battery here. So we're all good to go here. Woohoo! Power, James says. Thanks, everybody. But here's the quickest way to help gain trust with your audience, and that is through referrals. Now, how do you get those referrals? Well, we're going to show you that, because these people that you see here probably are already doing business with a doctor. So if you want to gain trust, working with somebody that already has a relationship with that doctor is going to be one of the quickest ways for you to get a doctor as quickly as you can. I will tell you this is probably one of the most quickest, fastest ways to get a doctor on your side and start doing that. We're going to show you how to do that. One of the ways is to actually work with other sales reps. These are folks that are already, again, doing business with a doctor. Referrals will keep coming in through that because they know the industry. So a lot of you it may be your first being in the industry of healthcare. But folks, there have been people in healthcare for a long time. Folks that have worked with home health agencies, folks that have worked with other types of companies in healthcare. It's not always necessarily billing, but it's people who help supply doctors with their equipment, maybe even some of their office equipment. We've actually heard of real estate agents who have done a lot of business with doctors who said, you know what, I've been working with a doctor and I just heard from them that they are having trouble collecting their money. But they're also trying to buy property too. So these referrals don't always have to come from somebody that's within healthcare. It's just people who have already built trust and working with doctors. We're going to show you how to build that network. On our AB Systems licensee support site, we know that one of the best ways to get your doctor is through networking is the number one method for our business owners getting their first clients, hands down. If you recall again, the webinar and the interview that I did with Tim Warner Uh, he said, do the world of selling guitars, and selling guitars is not always the best way to be able to do anything there. So he learned is, let me go back to what Abe used to do, and he joined a Business Networking International, BNI. And within a couple of months, he got his first client. So, folks, we're going to show you how to use networking number one way. Then we're going to show you how to use social media, whether it's through Facebook or through LinkedIn. We got ways in which we're going to show how to reach the doctors even through this. And for some of you that are adventurous, like I was, I actually did a lot of webinars on my own. I would actually go around to doctor's office, not even asking for their business. I'd go around doctor's office, inviting them to a webinar that I was doing on HIPAA compliancy, or how to market to your clients or to your patients, or other different types of things. Sometimes I'd invite a special guest to be on my webinar. And if the doctors couldn't make it, that's okay. I recorded it, and then I sent it to their office manager, or I posted it out on LinkedIn, or I posted it out on Facebook. And guess what? People recognized who I was. So whenever I was out back in the community, they go, oh yeah, Eric, I know who you are. You did a great presentation the other day. So we're going to show you how to use these different things here. And finally, the fifth thing that you're going to find in this whole 5 secrets is how to nurture your contacts. Because that's what you need to do. I mean, now that you've got a potential client, what do you do with it now? Because folks, we all know it takes a long time to get a client. And once you got a client, you maybe start doing business with them. It doesn't take much to lose them. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to teach you how to nurture your database of contacts to yield the best part of what you need is a customer for yourself. So again, offering one of the best parts of doing this is, again, this whole drip marketing campaign, as I mentioned to you, through AutoCard. Now, AutoCard is a genius support system for you to learn how to start taking these printed cards, these real cards that has your contact information, and you can electronically get your signature where it will be on there as well, of all the different services here that you can supply through American Business Systems, through the MIRMA site there as well, iClaim and EMRX. So as we kind of wrap up things here, we've got just 5 more minutes. The biggest things that have in common with all the secrets for you is this, that ABS is here for you every step of the way, whether it's through your initial part of what you're going through right now, all of your due diligence, your training, your support, all of your marketing pieces. Folks, nobody on this webinar probably has time to write a book, or the books that we have available for you to be able to use, all the presentations that we have, all the marketing pieces, and even trying to design and put the copy in there for a website. That would take you years to get to where you need to be, to show for it some type of expertise. And then plus, with the support from the Dr. Vicki Rackner, this is one of the ways in which we certainly help you get to there. Now, as we kind of wrap up here, there's a couple of questions. Shannon, again, is asking how many logins are allowed on the cloud platform at the same time. As many as you need. There's no, it's not like you have to have, purchase more seats to use that. You've got as many people as you need to be on it as that needs to be on there. She also is asking how many people are allowed on the platform at the same time. Okay, so truly, this is basically the same question there. As many as you need, Shannon. I mean, if you've got 2 or 3 people that are working one client, obviously you can put them on there, because the doctor's office is going to have their own login to the iClaim EMRX platform as well. So you're going to have your people that are doing the billing on that one side, and then the doctors and their staff doing what they need to do on their particular side. Folks, we have a couple of more minutes left. If there are no other questions, I'm going to go on to the next slide here. Again, that's what we've covered this afternoon. Amidst a power outage, Folks, there is more people on today's webinar than I've seen in a long time, and you're still on here. I want to tell you thank you. And so I appreciate your attendance this afternoon. I appreciate everybody kind of bearing with us with a little bit of the problem that we had here with the electricity. It was a little nerve-wracking there in the beginning, but folks, can you believe this hour is already up? But let me share with you before I let you go, we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, if you just let that sink in, and I'll take a little bit of time to help everybody understand, you have 30 days to continue to keep making your decision. And what that means is after you've signed the agreement and you've done your investment here of your $28,990, that money is actually put into a trust account. And ABS doesn't even touch it yet until your 30 days, quote unquote, is up. And you said, yep, I'm sticking with it. Because what we want you to do is to make sure that this is the business that you want to be a part of, which means you're going to get to go through all of the training. You're going to get all of the marketing pieces. You're going to get everything that I mentioned this afternoon on the webinar. Nothing is withheld from you because we want to make sure that you have everything in hand. Why is that? Because we know over 30 years, we've been doing these webinars, and we want to make sure people know that we are real and we're here to stay. That's our guarantee to you. So even though the business started over 30 years ago, this business will keep going because I believe with all my heart, because there is no other business opportunity or franchise out there that offers this money back guarantee as the way that ABS does. So folks, you're going to get to go through all of the training one-on-one with the trainer. So we're taking all the risk. We're taking the 30-day risk, 100% of it, which means that at the end of that training, you decide this is not the business for you. Simply ask for your money back. We'll have you ship everything back to us. We're gonna cut you a check or do whatever we need to do to draft it back to your account. We're gonna get it all back to you. That's our guarantee, 30-day money back guarantee. So what are your next steps? Again, go out and download or ask your business coach for the research guide. All of the webinars that I've been talking about, you can go back and watch those on youtube.com/YABS. All of those people that I mentioned earlier that are business coaches, they are also your reference list. So not only do you get to meet them now, these might be the same people that might be your business coach to help you along with some of the other things that you're doing. I mentioned earlier also about a live demonstration. So not only do I want you to do a live demonstration of the iClean EMRX, I also want you to request a demo of the licensee support side. And don't forget to ask for the book, The New Thriving Medical Practice, as a PDF. Get that down, have your business coach send that to you. Finally, I want you to get the link to the purchase agreement. Review that. It's about 5 pages long. On the first page of that agreement is also the refund policy that I want you to make sure that you get there as well. Then lastly, get your funding and your training in. Let's get started and give you that opportunity to start your 30-day continued evaluation here with American Business Systems. Folks, it's been my pleasure to be a part with you this afternoon. James says, thank you for a great webinar. I appreciate that. Lisa is asking, after you pay the $29,000, is there anything else that you have to pay? And after you get a doctor who wants you to do their billing, how much can you make per month? Lisa, last week, I did a little bit about that last week, about how much you can make. On average, with one doctor, you can make anywhere from about $45,000 to $65,000 a year with one doctor. Which shows you that with one doctor, usually you're going to be able to get your return on investment within that first year. But outside the $29,000, the $29,990, $28,990, other than maybe some marketing things that you might want to do, obviously if there's a luncheon or anything else that's there, you're going to want to probably, there's going to be some marketing things that you might end up doing, but obviously that's about it. But nothing back to ABS. There's no franchise fees. There's no royalty fees. So hopefully that helps answer your question. If you need a little bit more of that in detail, again, ask your business coach here. Folks, before I let you go, I understand that I'm doing an interview next Wednesday with a licensee or a business ABS business owner here. I look forward to doing that. You're not going to want to miss it next Wednesday. I think one of the favorite things that I like to do are interviews, because obviously there's somebody else on here that I love to be able to chat with, and you get to hear their story instead of just hearing from me week to week. And obviously you're working with a business coach, and hopefully you're talking with some of the licensee references. You need to make sure that you're doing that. But nothing is like a good solid hour listening to someone who's been right where you are, listening from their computers, and then making that decision, and then obviously becoming successful. So you get to chat with them next Wednesday. Folks, it's been my pleasure. Again, I thank you for being so patient with me this afternoon, even during the little bit of trouble that we had here with electricity here at the house. I appreciate your patience with us this afternoon. Give us a call here at 866-565-8413. I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. Y'all all have a great evening and a great week. See you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.